In this video, I want to demonstrate how you can graph a trig function on your TI-Nspire calculator, which will be helpful to check your work in this course and in future courses if you just need to graph. I'm going to begin by getting a graphs page, so I'm going to add that. And then when you're graphing trig functions, you want to make sure your calculator is in radian mode. So my calculator is in radian mode. If yours is not, you can click the rad and it'll toggle between degrees and radians. So if it's in degrees, click it, it'll become radians. Or if that doesn't work for you, you can hit doc and then number 7, settings and status, and you can do document settings, and you'll see here the angle. You want to make sure that's in radians. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my function in. So I want to graph 2 cosine x minus pi. And then I want to do plus 1. And I hit enter. And this graph is pretty good. As a starting point, and I think this automatically did a zoom trig, but I want to show you that. So as a starting point, you can do menu, window zoom, zoom trig. That's good for graphing trig functions. Oh, they actually changed a little bit with zoom trig. But I like to have a little more control. So I like to do menu, window zooms, and then do window settings, and actually set my window as I would if I were drawing it by hand. So this graph, negative 6.2831, that's negative 2 pi. So the window's going from negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi on the x-axis. I'm fine with that. What I like to do is set the scale. And when we're graphing trig functions, we like to put tick marks at multiples of a quarter period. So this function has a period of 2 pi. A quarter period will be pi over 2. So I'm going to set my x scale, so those tick marks will be every pi divided by 2. And then for the y scale, I don't know, let's make it go from negative 5 to positive 5. And then I don't want it to be auto. I want to control what those will be, like I would if I were drawing it by hand. So let's do the y scale 1 unit. So each tick mark will be 1 unit. And now what's nice about this graph is we can see that the key points are occurring at multiples of pi over 2. So 1.57 is pi over 2. So I have a key point here, which is at the midline at 1. I've got a key point at pi, which is a maximum, which is up here at 3. And then another key point at 3 pi over 2. This is back at the midline. And another key point at 2 pi. I've got a key point at 0. I can go ahead and put the midline in, so that might look a little better. Let me graph the midline, which is 1. And now we can see better where those key points are. And that's it.